Hey my friends, what's going on? Jake Andrews here. Jake Andrews Music with blues rock lessons coming at you today. I have a quick mini lesson that I'm giving y'all from the bottom of my heart. A quick lesson on dynamics in your lead guitar playing, even in your rhythm playing. Now this is a subject that I don't think gets talked about enough, but it's very important for taking you from the beginner and intermediate level of playing to a more advanced, more professional level of musicality. And this is really applying across the board, any instrument, any genre of music, okay? So it's a big concept, but of course today we're talking about blues guitar playing, especially slow blues guitar playing, especially like you saw on the intro of me playing. Dynamics, what is that? What am I talking about? And how can you start applying that today in your own playing? Hop in here with me. Let's go over this real quick. I'll talk about what this is and some tips and tricks for you, and then you will be well on your way to applying these things in your own playing today. All right, I'll see you in there. Okay, welcome everybody. So, dynamics, what am I talking about? Well, I think it's pretty obvious from the intro video. I'm talking about the combination of varying your levels of volume, your levels of attack on the guitar, your levels of phrasing and speed, and combining all of these into a very musical and conversational sounding style of guitar. And this cannot be separated really from what the rest of the band is doing. Okay? It's very important to be locked in with the other players on stage with you if you're in a live setting or in the studio setting, of course, because if the band is building everything up and you are still playing very soft and reserved, it's not going to click. It's not going to sound right, all right? You want to be right in step with everybody else. So you noticed on the intro to that slow blues, that's very common for the guitar to come in early. And although you certainly could come in guns blaring, full blast, right off the bat, okay, it's much more common on a slow blues to ease into it, right? So you saw that initial count off. 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay, that's very dynamic playing. I'm starting off slow. I'm starting off more reserved, a little more quiet. I'm letting those notes ring out, and I'm letting that space breathe in my playing, right? All you have to do is listen to the king of the blues, B.B. King, the king of less is more, of leaving space, okay? So that's what we're talking about. This all boils down to having a very conversational style in your playing. Okay, so think about this for a minute. If I were just to talk to you like this in a monotone voice and never take a break, and it's one never-ending long run-on sentence like this, it would sound very unconversational, it would sound very strange, and it would not be pleasing. Nobody talks like that. In the same way, you want your guitar playing to sound conversational. You say something, you pause, you take a break for emphasis. You leave space to build up the tension, right? If you're coming to the point of a story, you leave those pauses to kind of grab people's attention, and they're waiting to hear the punchline of the story or the joke, whatever it is, right? In the same way, start thinking about that with your guitar playing. Okay, and of course, you've probably heard of this call and response. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about, but think of it as a conversation. Your volume goes up and your intensity goes up when you're emphasizing an important point, especially if you're a very animated speaker, and then you bring it back, you reel it back, you bring the audience back. It's too much if you're just on 10 the entire time and your intensity is all the way through the roof, right? In the same way, if you always just play quiet and slow and reserved, nobody is going to get an emotional effect from that. All right, so that's what we're talking about. We're trying to get an emotional impact in the listeners, in our audience, in our own playing, for our own enjoyment. So, once again, listening to the masters of blues guitar, B.B. King, Freddie King, all of these guys, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton. No doubt there are many times when they build it up and they're playing fast and furious with no space, but not all the time, only those certain times, and it's right in step with the rest of the band, building it up, building that intensity, and then it drops back. That's very common. So, in the same way, that first intro verse, here's another example, playing it just by myself. Not the exact licks I used earlier, but the same kind of idea. 1, 2, 3. Might emphasize a chord. And then maybe at the turnaround, I build it up. Okay, so let's stop and talk about that for a second. So even within a single lick, I can get a lot of emotional response and effect by varying the attack and the volume within a single lick. Right? There's part of that lick where I'm really attacking it, okay? But then I can reel it back. So it's like the art of conversation. And maybe I want to keep it down. Really down. Now, if I am the band leader or I'm playing guitar, you want to make sure and express to the other musicians in the band, hey, bring it down, let's bring it down. You'll see guys on stage, bring it down, build it up. Very important. And I bring a little more intensity maybe later in the verse. Especially as we come up to the turnaround or come up to the 5 chord. I start to build it up. And on that turnaround lick, I can really build it up. With the chord, and at that point I can go into a full-on lead verse where I'm really building it up, the band's elevated, and my volume is all the way up, not all the way up, but I'm using my volume at full intensity, I'm using my attack at full intensity, and I might be playing a lot faster, leaving less space. I might be kind of playing in and out of time to build up even more intensity. See, this is cool, but if I only played like that all the time, it's going to sound too much. It's going to sound like I'm just a shredder that never knows when to take a break. But there's definitely a time and place for that. And I might want to bring some chords back in, even in the lead, to build it up. And then again, going higher on the neck usually works even better for the full intensity, because you know, I'm getting up as high as I can play and I'm doing my best intense lick. Not to say you can't play here when I'm playing low down, but it's especially a sign of the full intensity. I'm getting all the way up there about as high as I can play. Okay, so think about these things. Watch the intro video again. I just played a couple verses, so I tried to pack it all in these examples within 2 or 3 lead verses. But this is what I'm talking about. Think about these concepts. Try to start leaving that space in your playing and let these licks say something, right? You don't necessarily have to end on the root note, but it needs to make sense. If I just play a scale, that just sounds choppy. It doesn't sound conversational. It sounds boring and it sounds like a scale. So I would rather you have a couple notes well played. See how simple that is, but very effective. I'd rather you have that than right? That doesn't make any sense. If I were to talk like that, it wouldn't make any sense. It would sound kind of erratic and crazy. All right, so that is my mini lesson for you guys. Dynamics, very important. Start trying to apply these ideas in your playing. I'll see you back out there. Now, I would also like to mention some of my instructional courses that are available right now. I have a course called the Ultimate Freddie King Instrumentals course. This course teaches you note for note Freddie King's earliest instrumental recordings, his most influential stuff, the Hideaway album. It's amazing, and the phrasing that he uses is so unique and invaluable. And there's nothing like learning the actual songs and licks from the masters to try to start to integrate that timing and phrasing and those licks into your playing. Freddie King was a master of major and minor hybrid playing, and that really comes out in his sound. So look into that, my Freddie King Ultimate Instrumentals course. And my other newest course is called 7-Day Blues Guitarist. In this course, we really start at the beginning and we lay the foundation for starting to improvise your own blues lead guitar playing. We learn 5 unique blues verses and numerous concepts along the way, like playing over chord changes, rhythm, blues chords, funkier chords, double stops, bending. Everything is contained within this to get you on the road to start playing real blues lead guitar playing. So look into these 2 courses to augment the videos on this channel, and I think you're really going to be pleased. Thanks everybody, hope you enjoyed that quick mini lesson. Leave me some comments, give the video a like please. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and check out some of my instructional courses listed below where I go very into depth in all levels of blues and rock guitar playing. And I look forward to seeing all of you next time. Thanks so much.